I was like 15 or 16, and we were going up for a week-long camping trip as a young men's group for church. And so we started on this hike, and I was tired and I was hungry, but we did it anyways. And so we go on this hike, and it's really beautiful. It's up in the mountains. But anyways, a couple hours later, like 5 hours later, I don't know why it took us so long, but we got to the top of this mountain. It was like 5 o'clock by this point. And the sun was starting to go down, and we could see the valley below us. And we could see camp miles away, and all the trees, and it looked so pretty. And because we hadn't eaten, our leaders knew that. And so they decided not to give us food. And the food they gave us was strawberry Pop-Tarts. And I don't like strawberry Pop-Tarts, but I love these strawberry Pop-Tarts, and I was so invested into them. I was like, dang, I like these. Anyways, so as we were eating, they told us that it was time to go because it was getting dark, it was getting cold, so they told us that we had to leave. And all the leaders left, and all the kids left, and I was the last one, and I was supposed to follow behind them. And so everybody made a left-hand turn off the side of this trail, and I thought I saw someone go right. And so I made the mistake of going right, and I wasn't paying attention where I was going, and to my surprise, there wasn't a trail right there, but it was just snow. And I quickly realized that nobody else was around me, and before I could make the correction of turning around, the snow gave out from underneath me, and I just fell. And I fell off this mountain for about 200, 300 feet, and I just tumbled down the side of it, and I tried to stop myself as best I could and slow myself down, but I couldn't. And I eventually fell onto a tree. I'm now a couple hundred feet down away from my party, and I was screaming out to them, but nobody could hear me, and I didn't see anybody for a couple minutes, so I didn't think that they noticed I was gone. And so I was scared, but I knew the direction that they were going, so I tried to make my way around the side of the mountain. I kind of just went from tree to tree, because if I stepped on the snow, because of how steep it was, I would keep sliding and getting further and further away from the leaders and the young men in my group. And like I said, it was getting dark, it was cold, I was now beat up, and I was just alone. Pretty alone. But, I had an impression to pray. I felt very strongly like I need to pray. And so I just stopped hopping from tree to tree, and I just knelt down, and I said a prayer. And I asked my loving God, my loving Heavenly Father, to help me and to make sure I get home okay. And then I just felt like I should yell out one last time because my voice was getting tired from all that screaming. And I just screamed out one last time for someone to hear me, and then I heard someone back. And it was someone from my party, and they were screaming at me, and I could hear their echoes off the mountain. And for the next little bit, we kind of just made our way towards each other from our echoes, and long story short, they were able to find me, and they were able to get me up to them. But I just grew such a deeper knowledge and appreciation of how I'm not abandoned, of how much God really does hear my prayers, how He really does look out for us individually.